Are you James Hank Williams? I mean, I saw that online. Is that just kind of a nickname?
That's a nickname I've gone by ever since I picked up a guitar.
Okay, cool, cool. And I guess that kind of describes your style to some point.
Yeah, a little bit. In my songwriting and my playing, and
Right.
a lot of my background.
Right, I got you. Well, Hank Williams is a good guy to have a namesake.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk a little bit about you are from Louisville originally?
I was born and raised here in Louisville, right over here in St. Matthews, actually.
Oh, yeah?
And moved up to Henry County, Pendleton, probably about 10 years ago. And then off and on for the past 2 years, I've been living out of hotels and cars and down there in the Nashville area.
Oh, yeah? Doing the singer-songwriter thing, man.
Yeah.
Well, Well, there's two schools of thought, and one of the schools of thought are that you got to be down there to make it in the country music business. You got to be right in the middle of it, because as you said, you've spent quite a lot of time down there. How do you like that lifestyle?
I try not to get too involved in it because I'll probably just get myself in trouble.
Right.
But being down there, you're right. You have to be in that realm. And you have to be around those pickers, and you have to be around those songwriters down there, and just take what you can and soak it all up.
Right.
And that's what I'm focused on.
Right.
Anything I can do to improve my songwriting and my playing.
Right.
And first of all, just bring enjoyment to myself.
Sure.
So.
Well, yeah, you got to have fun because there's not a lot of money in it, is there?
That's right. That's right. Don't ever try to make it in the music business for money because you'll never make it.
Right. I have a good friend and a musician, Chris Moondog Hall, and we actually play him on Crescent Hill Radio. But he actually made the move down to Nashville a few months back, and he's hacking away, and he's told me that most of the real stuff happens during the week down there. There's a lot of people that go down, on the weekend and try to be that weekend, and try to make it. But really, you got to be down there in the clubs during the week,
That's right.
And so that's real interesting. But you got your guitar with you, man. I like that guitar. It's a nice Epiphone.
Yeah, it's a recent acquirement,
Right.
and I've always wanted a big body guitar,
Right.
and I love the sound that the Epiphones give. And
Right.
My problem is I've gone through 5 dreadnoughts, and once I got this jumbo, everything kind of outgrew itself.
Right. I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, let's start out the show with a song. What are you going to play for us?
This is actually the first song that I ever wrote down there in Nashville. Wrote it down there on Music Row, and it was co-written by Mr. Chris Gantry, who had fame in the 60s with Dreams of the Everyday Housewife, cut by Glenn Campbell and several other artists. And we got together one day, and this is just what we panned out.
All right.
It's called Twangster.
Twangster.
Well, he rode into town on a 50-foot hound, 6-string on his hip, back stains on his fingertips, Sam Elliott mustache on his lip, like somebody out of True Grit. Took a good look around, stared music rolled down, cookie cutter country songs on the radio in the honky tonk. Jamie Johnson ain't the one who's wrong. There's an outlaw thing going on. Twangster, you ain't your ordinary dude with a guitar slinger attitude. Twangster, you ain't your ordinary dude with a guitar slinger attitude. Living off the tip jar, slinging in a biker bar. Every song he sang went against the grain. Old chicken wire joint wasn't for the tame, but that's how he made his name. Twangster, There ain't your ordinary dude with a guitar slinger attitude. Twangster. There ain't your ordinary dude with a guitar slinger attitude. Breaking picks and strings, beating on the thing. That's what happens when you live out what you sing. Twangster. There ain't your ordinary dude with a guitar slinger attitude.
All right, Twangster. I like that. It kind of, well, it follows along that long that country music songwriting technique. I guess it kind of tells a story. And have you lived some of those things you're singing about?
Yeah, a little bit. Just what the concept came from. This guy, he comes into town, and
right.
And there's all this commercialism, I guess you would say.
Sure.
And you know, it's getting bad down there to where if you don't carry a certain look or you don't sound like this person here, and
right.
And you know, you're not going to make it.
Gotcha.
If you have those aspirations.
Right.
So this guy comes into town, and he sees all the jargon that's going on, and he says, you know what, I'm just going to do my own thing.
Right.
And I almost had like an Old West type of concept in there where, you know, the tumbleweeds are rolling past his feet.
Right.
And he's got an electric guitar sitting on him. He goes into these bars, and he kind of head hunts.
Right.
And gets up there and just jams along, has a good old time.
Right.
Just all out frustration, really.
Gotcha. And you mentioned about the kind of commercialism in country music these days in Nashville, and how it's almost kind of a cookie cutter mentality, and you know, that's my take on it. And I don't know how you feel about it, but it's like, you know, everybody wants to, they want the same thing, you know.
Right.
You know. And I think we've gotten away from what country music, you know, was really about and supposed to be.
That's all right.
But I think you can feel me there, can't you?
Country music to me is it's a lifestyle. It's an emotion.
Right.
And whenever, for myself, I don't have aspirations, or I don't have big future goals of making millions and millions of dollars and being on the radio and being signed to a major record label.
Sure.
That's not my whole purpose of doing this. It's to be myself and stay true to who I am and stay true to the music and just, you know, not give in to the backbone.
Gotcha. Well, actually, I'm you know, Crescent Hill Radio is all about local and regional original music. So we're going to play some more cuts, and this is so appropriate. This is a brand new song from the band